So I've been sitting here reading, as you do, and I was looking at this book. It's called A Woman's Places in the Boardroom, and it looks at the experiences of different women and men in integrating more women into top FTSE 500 and 100 boards. And I specifically wanted to speak very quickly about a thread that is through all of the interviews, and that is, what is the value of diversity? So very early on in the book, one of the interviewees says that, I think women bring a totality of life experience to a board. On the whole, men will just bring their work to the board. And earlier she said, women bring a totally a different view of business and of the community within a business. Okay, so women bring the totality of their experience, sort of a holistic view. And later, of course, they talk about what are some benefits of that. Later on, they again talk about what are the benefits of having gender diversity. And all of these, of course, the underlying factor is that there should be diversity and not just, all men or all women. I needed to clarify that for a lot of people who are uncomfortable about losing privilege. And so it says that difference sparks creativity, like different life experiences themselves is what sparks creativity in all of us. So going from the last one, women bring a different life experience than men, and then our working together sparks creativity in all of us. That's additionally. And then boards themselves signify to the rest of the workforce what their values are. So if you don't have a diverse board, you can't certainly say to people, well, we want a diverse workforce or we respect our diverse consumer base. And then she said something additionally. It's much more powerful in practice when the organization hears the voice of the different forms of diversity, that those voices need to be internal to the organization to be included, and that there is a value in and of itself of this inclusion because, again, its impact on creativity. Now, there are two last quotes I want to share with you that say this much more succinctly. Diversity is more resource to draw on when dealing with uncertainty and the increasingly wide range of issues facing large companies. So diversity means that you simply have more resources to think about issues facing a business, and increasingly those issues are uncertain and in a context of uncertainty. The momentum is building. And finally, for diversity to work, a variety of experiences and ways of thinking have to be in the room, but also commonality of values. And this is where we think about managing diversity is different from just having diversity. So having diversity means you have a few tokens, a few quotas, but you don't really work to have people's voices included and heard, and certainly paid attention to. And that is important because the last one says, so women are proud of getting themselves, of having gotten there, but then they're at risk of then playing by the rules of the club that they've joined. So in a sense, when we are the people who bring diversity into the room, we have the responsibility of being our authentic selves. We can't just participate in groupthink. We can't just participate in the way that the club was running before because those rules excluded us. So in a sense, our presence and our responsibility is that partially of a maverick. Now, in being a maverick, I'm just saying you have to be your authentic self. That's what I'm adding. And that was what seems to be the conclusion of this particular book, of the value of boards. And I forgot, the underlying idea is that diverse boards have better long-term performance, long-term work-life balance over just the short-term immediate goals that have been the rules of the game today. So, what do you think about gender and diversity? Part of what is being raised here is that should there just be quotas? Because if diversity is a value in and of itself, and there's a certain hurdle in getting onto boards that the book points out, is that one way to get on a board is to be on a board. Well, if the boards are art exclusive and you can't even network with people on the boards, then how do you penetrate this hitherto impenetrable wall? So poster ideas, I really look forward to hearing from you. Do you believe in quotas for a period of time to get us past this rift? Do you believe in other measures? What do you think will work in generating a greater understanding of the value and power of diversity?